What up, people? What's going on? It's your boy DJ Leighton J. Tables are behind me, not in front of me. Let's talk. Let's have some real talk. First of all, it's the new year. Happy 2026 and all that good stuff. I'm going to talk about today what being a DJ actually requires beyond the music. Y'all been on this journey with me. I appreciate you, supporting the mixes I've been putting out, all the old school R&B mixes I've been putting out. Really, really appreciate it. It's been dope the way that you guys have been responding to it and all of that. So I figured I'd let you in on kind of behind the scenes, like what's in my mind, like what actually goes on and all of that stuff. So again, what being a DJ actually requires beyond the music. First of all, I want to talk about grit and resilience. It's grit, Grit, and resilience. Just the ability to stick it out when it's rough, because playing music and mixing is probably like the most fun part. Outside of that, there's a lot of work. You got to plant your feet firmly. Literally make sure that you can't be shaken by distractions or anything like that. There's gonna be ups and downs. Period. Just like anything, just like life, there's gonna be ups and downs. There's gonna be times when you got a lot of gigs, a lot of paid work, whether it be mixes or mixtapes and stuff like that. And there's gonna be times when you can't get to it. There's gonna be times when life happens. I have been DJing for 26 years now, but life has happened a lot. There's been times I had to sell my equipment. I needed the money. And I chose, taking care of like my obligations, my family over, whatever else was going on. There have been times where, every other weekend, every weekend, I was playing out somewhere and I was doing this, I was doing that. So it over the years, I picked up wisdom. Being a man of faith, I depended a lot on God. I leaned on God and I said, still leaning on God. And I said, listen, why am I doing this? And he showed me that, listen, there's going to be mountaintops, there's going to be valleys, and everything in between. And you got to figure out how to stay stuck, how to stick it out when there's ups and when there's downs. I remember I had times where I didn't have the equipment that I wanted. But one thing I learned to it took a minute, but I learned to DJ with the equipment that I had. Now I have, like what I desired, but there was a time where I didn't, and I had to figure it out. I had speakers that were not the top of the line speakers and not the proper speakers that you needed, but I had to do it. I had to figure it out. There will be ups and downs. Let's talk about your mindset, or let me talk about my mindset. Having determination while staying the course. And you would think it was the same as what I just talked about, grit and resilience, but it's different. You can have grit and resilience and still be like, nothing's ever working out for me. I should be here by now, or X, Y, Z, or the opposite end of the spectrum, which is you have an imposter syndrome where I shouldn't be in these rooms. I shouldn't be with these people. I shouldn't be doing this stuff. Having the proper mindset can deal with that. Why am I doing this? Who is going to benefit? That turning point came 15 years in, because I started DJing in 1999. 2014, the year I got married, my beautiful wife. I had to make some decisions. I had to figure it out, because it wasn't just me anymore. It wasn't just me as a single man, as a bachelor. DJing as a bachelor is different than DJing as a married man, as a father. I had to realize, I said, you know what? I gotta move differently. I gotta figure this thing out. So I took a break and I said, okay. I said to God, I said, listen, if you want me to do this, then you open the door so that I can get back into it. And it took a while, but during the course of that, I learned so many lessons. And surprisingly, he opened the door. Okay, you must want me to do this. Okay. And I just had the mindset. I just had that mindset. Take care of your family, raising a child. Make sure my wife has everything she needs. And then personally, I had to develop. Your mindset is everything, because I don't believe that God would have opened that door if I didn't work on my mindset. One thing that I learned was that DJing is a part of me. I'm always counting beats, and I'm always thinking about mashups and remixes. Hence why y'all been getting all of these mixes full of blends, because that's my brain. I've always been thinking about this. Michael Jackson can go on this hip hop beat. I had to do it. It doesn't matter whether it was R&B, whether it was gospel, it was reggae. Last thing I want to talk about is dressing the part. And I'm not just talking about clothes, even though that was big for me too, because I am a t-shirt and sweats kind of guy. Like, I don't like to do a lot as far as clothes are concerned, but I learned that sometimes when you're in different rooms, clothes can make you, stand out. I'm talking about being put together for what you've been booked for. I've done many different gigs. I've done online gigs. During the pandemic, I did online gigs. I did a gig. It was a celebration for somebody, and they told me, listen, she likes old school. She likes, Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson and James Brown and so forth. And I was like, okay, cool. I have to cater this mix to her, to my audience. Like, I can play a bunch of different ways as a DJ, but I gotta cater this mix. And it went off. It went off beautifully. And they were like, we didn't know that you were gonna play, this like this. We didn't know that you were gonna, and I was like, yeah, you gave me a playlist. You told me what you wanted to hear and how you want, and all that. You didn't think it was gonna come out like this. And that just taught me, it was like, listen, make sure you dress the part, because I had the impact that I wanted to have because I dressed the part. I knew how the flow of the event was gonna go. I knew that, listen, at this point they want to do this and that. So if I have a 15-minute set in the beginning, okay, let me warm it up. And then they could do what they gotta do. There's been other events where that didn't work at all, where I had to do it, the opposite way. So I had to figure it out. Dressing the part, like for me, I had to let it be a confidence booster. Like, listen, when I first started DJing, I started DJing on turntables. So I had to look through all the records. So if my turntables is here, I had to turn around and look through my records and say, okay, you know what? This Jay-Z record is good for this time. Put the record on. Okay, fine. What's next? After this Jay-Z record, this Mace record. Okay, cool. That works. I gotta switch it up. I gotta do something different. After Mace, I might wanna, they might wanna party a little bit. So let me put a Fat Man Scoop on there. I had to learn, dress the part. You have to prepare it just right. Now it's easy. Through a computer, you got a laptop right there. You could find things easier. But it was like, hey, listen, you have to learn to select. That's what it was called. If I didn't know how to select, it didn't matter what you played if it wasn't the right thing that you played. Anyway, those are some of the things that a DJ actually requires beyond the music. There's more. Who knows? I may do a part 2. If y'all could think of anything that you think may work, because from a crowd perspective, you guys may see something that I might think about. Or you've seen some of your favorite DJs do. Leave the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment, subscribe, all that stuff. It really helps me. Yeah. All that good stuff. All right. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Check out the mixes if you haven't already. Don't be a stranger, and I'll see you very, very soon.